Hello, YouTube. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. I'm just walking. I've been laying in bed depressed for, I don't know, 24 hours-ish, I guess. It's 11:41 p.m., Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. I'm just kind of starting to come to the conclusion that there's just no real happiness or satisfaction to be found in my life. The more I think about it, it all kind of boils down to two things. There's just really two things that I want. Two things that make me content and happy. I mean, there's more than two things, but there's two big ones. And that's, I'd like to fuck and I'd like to drive. It all boils down to that. And those are two things that are just not obtainable to me right now, for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could rent a car, but that would just drain what finances I have just so fast. I kind of looked, and prices have really gone up on Turo since the last time I used them. And that doesn't solve the other problem. I mean, it might. I might get a lot more luck and have a little more luck and a little more action if I could actually drive places versus attempting to walk places and get around by bus in the limited amount of time that I have. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't seem to be really making any progress with any women these days, and the so-called girlfriend has made it very clear that she's not interested in sex at all. At least not with me. So, gosh, where did I leave off? Did a whole bunch of little short videos on Monday. Seemed like every time I started recording videos, something went fucking wrong with my iPhone and killed the video I was shooting. By the way, I'm not shooting on the iPhone. I'm shooting on the Samsung Galaxy. It's a little low on space. It told me I had only have room for about 46 minutes worth of video. So, but oh wow, interesting. I just noticed it's giving me a countdown timer how much space I have left. So I could still go another 40 minutes. Yay! And I just might. Speaking of the Samsung Galaxy, I actually got a couple messages from Jeff today offering to help me with the SIM card, and I don't think I've really, in any of my videos lately, said what's going on with the SIM card beyond my failed attempt to get up to the repair shop up at 16th Street in Bethany, which didn't work out due to dysfunctional public transit scheduling and buses, and then a bus going north on 16th Street that said drop off only, which threw me for a loop. So I trying to remember what day it was. Actually, it might have been Monday. It might have been the last day I did last video I shot. I remember I was shooting a video walking into Amazon via the coming in from 83rd Avenue, and saying that I was having a really difficult time obtaining a paperclip. Which, I mean, it sounds funny, but I just, don't have paper clips on me. We're such a common object. It just doesn't, every time I would try to find a paper clip, there was just simply none to be found, and I would ask other people that I think might have paper clips, and they didn't have paper clips. Anyway, and also my hair tie had also broken, so I'd gone up to HR to see if maybe they had a hair tie, since it's kind of a safety thing, but sometimes they break, and it's like, hey, I don't want to violate safety protocols, but my hair tie broke. Does somebody here have a hair tie? And amazingly, somebody did, so that was nice. And then I went to, I walked over. They've got over at Amazon where I work, they've now got the shoe people. And if you go back to my vlogs from when I was first in the process of trying to get the gig at Amazon, like one of the biggest struggles I had was in getting the shoes. I just couldn't seem to get to, well, first I lost the paperwork on how to go, like the information on how to go about getting the shoes. That was in the same bag as my birth certificate, which I have yet to replace as well. And then after that, I went to and then when I went all the way back to PHX3 over on which is over around 60, it's like west of 67th Avenue in Buckeye. When I went back over there, I ended up getting the paper, and then I got on the website and I couldn't figure out how the hell to get it to work. Couldn't get it to work on my phone. Couldn't get it to work on my computer. I ended up getting it taken care of and getting my safety shoes with some help from the people over at that particular Amazon, the department where they were doing the hiring. They were very patient with me and helped me out, which was great. And I got them in the mail a couple days before my first day, so showed up with the shoes on, feeling really good about that, which was kind of to my surprise, because I guess the bulk of the people who started on the day I did were unable to get their shoes, and part of the focus of that day was helping people get their shoes. So, but whatever. Glad I handled that, and I like the shoes. Just for the record, like the safety shoes. They're now that they're broken in, they're pretty comfortable and they're sturdy. And while I'm not wearing them right now, I mean, I actually considered putting them on for this walk just because I didn't see my black Nikes. Anyway, some homeless people congregating over that way. So anyway, so I just had a fleeting thought about homeless people crossing my head, and maybe I'll share that, but not yet. So yeah, got the shoes. The other thing I didn't realize is that when I went through the whole orientation and the hiring process, is it was kind of made to look out like the shoes were absolutely essential to work. And then come to find out that they were just recommended at the time I started. They didn't actually become required, at least not at the facility I work at. They didn't become required until Valentine's Day, February 14th. And wouldn't you know it, that was the very first day that I mistakenly wore the wrong shoes to work. That was the day that I took the bus to do laundry with the 2 giant suitcases. And so of course I'm wearing the Nikes to do that. And then when I got home, I was kind of already dressed for work. I just had to, kind of swap out some stuff, and it just didn't even occur to me that I needed to change shoes. So yeah, I ended up going to work with the wrong things, and I realized as soon as I got there, I'm like, shit, I'm not wearing my safety shoes, and I'm like, I wonder if anybody will notice. Oh yeah, somebody noticed. Somebody noticed real quick, like as soon as I got into my my work area to check in, like one of the first things, and I'm sure it was probably just a matter of, like, because it was the first day it was being required, I'm sure their supervisors are like, hey, be sure you check everybody's shoes. Because, yeah, first thing the person checking me in did was look down and was like, yeah, where's your, you got to wear your safety shoes. Don't you have them? And I was like, yeah, I do. I just, this is actually the first day I didn't wear them. Did laundry, forgot. Oops, my bad. Damn. I was hoping I could maybe hang out at the break room and maybe find some love at the break room. No, not going to happen. And that's kind of a bummer. It used to be, and I'm sure a lot of this stems from the fact that I was younger. And it was a different scene and a different crowd back then. But, man, before I met Priscilla, I used to meet and hook up with women at the break room pretty regularly, like without a whole lot of effort. It seems like those days are gone for me. But I'm not in my late 30s anymore, so I guess that kind of is what it is. And also, I'm walking on foot, which is just kind of a fail living in Phoenix. At least that's how most people look at it. Back then, I drove a little red CRX, which is kind of a cool little. It was kind of a kind of looked at as a badass car. So it's it made a big difference. Although, looking back, there were times where where it was broken down. There were a time period I didn't have a car, and I seemed to have hooked up with women pretty regularly then. But again, that I'm sure a lot of that probably stemmed from the fact that I was in my 30s as opposed to in my 50s. Anyway, yeah. So I guess I'm gonna keep on walking because I'm tired of being at home and being physically ignored. I tried to explain to Priscilla, she's like, well, I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated to have sex with you. How do you figure I need to? And I kind of look at it like, look, you're presenting, obviously I have needs. You're living in my home. You're saying that, you want me to not be with other women. And you're presenting to everybody around us in our social group that you're my girlfriend, which kind of implies that you're taking care of that. To most people, that's what that implies. So, I mean, if you're not, that's kind of a problem. And she's like, well, I don't have to, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, I said, and, don't, she's like, well, I don't just feel like that's all you want is my pussy. You don't want to be around me. And it's not like all I want is her pussy, but it's kind of like this. And I told her this analogy because this is the first one that came into my head. Imagine you got somebody who's super, super thirsty and you're holding up a bottle of cool, refreshing water. You're holding it right in front of them. But you're absolutely not letting them have any of it because you're just not obligated to let them have any of that water. And she's like, that's a fucked up thing to do. And she's like, well, Lorna,
Hey, you have an extra cigarette?
I don't smoke. God, I hate smokers. And that's primarily the reason why. Oh, where was I? So, and just think, if I was a smoker and I had an extra cigarette, I might have had some female companionship for the night. Maybe I should take up smoking. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, she's like, well, you could lick the condensation. And I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I'll lick the condensation. And mind you, we're both naked in bed at this time. Because she was okay with climbing in my bed, getting naked in my bed, and getting me aroused, rubbing up against me. But that's all the farthest she was willing to go. Which as much as that as frustrating as that is to me, I'd rather she not even come home. And I guess I should rewind to where we got to that point. Damn, I was talking about safety shoes, wasn't I? So anyway, back to the safety shoes. So the day I forgot my safety shoes, they sent me up to the front. They're like, well, they've got some overshoes you can put on, which I'm like, okay, that sounds silly, but okay. And they did. And yeah, I wore them that one day as the first day. So that's the first day the shoe people were there. So when I referenced, that I went to the shoe people up by HR, those are the shoe people. That was the first day they appeared. They're still there. They've been there every day since. They set up right by the main entrance. So for some reason, somebody that works there still hasn't got their damn safety shoes yet. I mean, my God, it's been over 2 weeks. Like, what's the deal, dude? I rode a bus several times from Arcadia to 67th Avenue and Buckeye to handle me getting shoes. What's your problem? And I remember one time I went there and I missed their door being open by like 5 minutes due to bus scheduling. So, yeah, I made the effort. Was these other people? I had the shoe people still there. But anyway, I was glad the shoe people were still there because I walked over there, and one of them actually had, and it wasn't for anything she was working, just for whatever reason, she had sitting on the table, made a little chain, like a ring, almost like a bracelet, out of a chain of paper clips. And she's like, oh yeah, I have a paper clip you could have, just go and pull one off of there. And it was just the most bizarre thing, but made my night because I got to the warehouse. I got to the warehouse like an hour early, maybe even earlier than that. It's one thing with transit, like sometimes you just, in attempting to get there on time will get you there super late. There's just no tolerance for late in the working world. There's no understanding of how difficult buses are. There's like a 4 or 5 minute grace period. 4 or 5 minutes. The next bus is in 30 minutes if it shows up. And every time there's a bus not running, when the next bus is scheduled 30 minutes, you can pretty much guarantee that bus is going to be running 10 to 20 minutes late behind schedule because it's picking up all the passengers in the slack of the bus prior that wasn't running. But hey, that's not an employer's fault. You should get your shit together and get a car. That's the general attitude of pretty much all employers, Amazon included. So anyway, I got there super early. Hey, I'm actually really relieved compared to other employers that Amazon is actually really cool with employees showing up that early. I've noticed I'm not the only one that gets there that early, and I'm able to go into the break room and charge up my phone and use their Wi-Fi. In fact, they've actually got PCs there for people that don't have computers or internet at home to use. Just kind of found that out the other day. And I haven't used them. I just didn't use my iPhone on their Wi-Fi. But it's nice to know that that's there. That's an option. And there's also the food vending there. So there's food there. Bright lighting. It's a place to, relax for it is time to clock in and go to work. So, which is nice because it's sometimes it's just nice just to have a comfortable place to be. And prior to my car losing its engine, that comfortable place was my car. In fact, even more so than my home. Mostly because of the significant other that I'm not so happy with. Safe space was my car. So the break room at Amazon has actually kind of become one of my more comfortable places to be, which is kind of sad and pathetic, but welcome to my life. Anyway, so I was able to get the SIM card installed. When I opened up the SIM tray, it was a lot more complicated than the SIM tray for my iPhone, so I ended up having to use the iPhone to Google how the hell I put the SIM card in the little tray that came out, because it had like 3 holes in it. It was, but I found the answer and I got it in. And unfortunately, when I got it inserted, it said something about how the phone was locked and could not use a SIM card. Click here to unlock it or something, or contact security to unlock it, whatever. And then I clicked the thing it said to click, and then there was an option, and then it acted like it was trying to contact something over the network, and then it told me it was unable to do it. I think that's what went down. It was a little, the whole scenario was a little confusing to me. Anyway, when I got to, that was about the most I was able to do. I did take a picture of the error that I got, at least one of the errors that I caught on my iPhone, and sent it to Jeff, aka Cell Phone Jesus, who of all my personal friends is the one who by far is most knowledgeable of all things to do with smartphones. Who hadn't been returning my calls for, at this point, we're talking like 2 months. It was kind of frustrating. I know really when I became on his shit list. In fact, the last time I saw him and spoke to him at all was when the video where it looks like I'm getting mugged as I'm walking down Van Buren Street near 44th Street. That was actually just him just fucking with me. But yeah, we hung out after that and just hung out in front of the Circle K, and that's the last I heard from him. So hasn't been returning my calls since. I went ahead and sent him that picture just with the caption "help," and was kind of surprised that he finally contacted me. I don't know, some point this morning. Like I said, I've been pretty much in bed, just mostly asleep and depressed for the last 24 hours. It's just after the whole thing, as I was explaining with Priscilla, I was going to get back to it, where she just got me incredibly aroused and turned on, and was up naked against me. I mean, everything should have happened other than I'm not consenting to that, and I'm telling you no because I can, and kindly explain to me how the fuck that's not using sex for a weapon. I don't know. I don't think she understands like what that is to me, and obviously I don't understand what her issue is as well. So obviously there's something that she's trying to convey to me. I don't get it. All I know is that if she's trying to get me to care, if she's trying to change my behavior and get me to care about something else in her life or her reality or whatever, she's absolutely 100% going about it the wrong way. As y'all have seen, when they don't let me in the lobby at Del Taco, regardless of my preference for Del Taco, I go to the Taco Bell down the street. I know that's a god-awful analogy, but I'm just too old for this bullshit. I can't think of any other way to put it. There's other women in the world, and I'm sure one of them somewhere might be interested in my old, broke, decrepit ass. Maybe. I want to hope so. Though it doesn't really feel like it right now. And maybe the problem is I haven't found the right guy. Sometimes I think maybe that's the deal. I don't know. I just know I'm really unhappy and really sexually frustrated, and just being there with her basically, yep, here it is. Here I am. I know this is what you want. I know this is what you crave, but you can't have it. Ha. Yeah, it's not a good headspace for me at all. And then add to the fact that I can't drive to go anywhere else. I don't know. I just hit the point I couldn't take anymore. So here I am walking. It's about 50 degrees. It's kind of chilly out. At least there's no wind or rain, so I got that going for me. Or snow. I mean, it's certainly pretty mild weather for the 1st of April, so I guess I should be thankful I live in Phoenix. I went out, and I get back to the, so Jeff messaged me. We've been kind of playing phone tag, but he's kind of left me hanging again, which was after he said he would help me with the SIM card problem, but that's a separate tragedy, and I don't want to go into that anymore. It just kind of is what it is, and I don't know if I don't hear from him before business hours start tomorrow morning or this morning. It's probably after midnight now. Oh yeah, see, it's 12:06. It's Wednesday now, March 2nd, 2022, 12:06 p.m. Yeah, so I can officially say this morning in business, and I'll probably be up the whole time because I slept for damn near 24 hours, better part of 24 hours. Granted, I didn't sleep solidly. I didn't sleep continuously. I don't know. It's just kind of the way I'm wired when I'm that depressed and sexually frustrated. I sleep. I just don't sleep regularly or soundly or well. I wake up with cravings that absolutely can't be satisfied, and frustration, and then I just generally end up turning to either porn or YouTube or Reddit until I'm tired enough to go to sleep. I would like to thank President Biden for helping me with that. At one point, I was streaming the State of the Union address, and that actually put me right to sleep. So, let's go, Brandon. In fact, I think that was actually one of the stretches that I slept really good, and stayed asleep for a few hours. So that's a good thing. God, my hair is terrible today. I should have maybe done it before I headed out. At least, it's an all right pony knob, whatever. So I guess I should explain how I got from Amazon and Monday night. So yeah, I worked Sunday night. I worked Monday night. And Monday was the day I shot all the super short vlogs, most of which got cut off. And for what it's worth, after the last one, I just got the Zero Central bus, then transferred to the it leaves at 5:41. I'm starting to memorize the schedule of the I-10 West. 6:11 is the last one. The one before that is 5:41. The one that always gets me to the park and ride at straight up 6 p.m. So, yeah, I caught the 5:41 bus, and then, actually, I'm conflating days. Sunday was the day I got my SIM card inserted, because Sunday I had to ride the 17 bus all the way out there because there is no rapid, and that's the day. Yeah, I went to the Burger King, got a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, and then walked down. I think I vlogged as I was going over the bridge. Walked into I remember I did vlog then. Walked into Amazon, got there super early, so that was the day I got the SIM card and the phone. And then Monday, got there, not as early. I hit this park and ride at about. If I hit the park and ride, the 5:41 bus gets me there right at 6 o'clock. Park and ride. I was running a little late. Got me at like 6:02, whatever, 6 o'clock. And give myself about 10 minutes or so to walk from the park and ride to the entrance of the warehouse, and yeah, so I had a little over 45 minutes to just kick back in the break room, and I got some burritos from Del Taco, so I was able to enjoy those and some Mountain Dew from the vending. It's really weird. The prices are erratic at the vending at Amazon, but most drinks, not all drinks, but all sodas are really inexpensive, like less expensive than, I can get better deals, obviously, if I'm buying them in bulk. It's a Costco, but buying in bulk at Costco is a next to impossible thing to do when you don't have a vehicle to transport a big, heavy-ass case of beverages. Which sucks. I'm still paying for my Costco membership, and maybe I should cancel it at this point, because I'm not utilizing it at all. I'm not shopping there because everything's in bulk and I can't carry it, and I'm not buying gas there because what the fuck am I putting gas in? At this point, I guess I'm just functionally paying for Priscilla's Costco membership, which is bullshit on several levels, because she's not really buying me anything there anymore like she used to. And the whole reason that I had to pay for a Costco membership is because she canceled me off of her Costco membership. Let's not forget that. God, the more I think about these things, I'm just, why the fuck am I still with her? The answer to that used to be for a long time, because the sex is amazing, but now the sex is just not happening. And it's been not happening for like 3 months. And it was kind of hit and miss for the year before that. So, yeah. Oh, I remember why I'm still with her. Because she's still helping pay the rent. And she did contribute a significant portion this month. So there's that. You can at least take some solace in that. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can handle it. I really don't. And I'm trying to figure out like what the best way is to approach it. I was chatting with my daughter about it today. They're probably horrible things to discuss with my daughter, but my older daughter is like one of the few people in my life that actually cares and listens. And I mean, whatever. She's a grown woman to a point. At this point, I mean, she's almost 20, so she can kind of relate, I think. her first suggestion was to get some toys and enjoy some self-love, and I'm just like, yeah, been there, done that. Doesn't really work. Doesn't work for me. Yeah, I've yet to find any kind of toy that I actually enjoy, and mostly those have just been a sad, depressing waste of money that could have been spent on something else, anything else. And the other, Tavera Castle looks so cool when it's lit up at night. This phone is just not doing justice to how cool that looks. I mean, there's also the option of just lube and porn, but at this point that's just adding to, I'm just watching what I'm missing, and knowing that what I want the most is just right in the other room. Just refusing to give me the one thing that like kind of makes me able to tolerate all the other bullshit in my life. I don't know. At this point, I think I'd just be happy to find a wet, willing mouth, and maybe this here's the place for that. Wish me luck.